All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Craps. Here we go with the YOLO. Here's where we stand right now. I've got no money. I've rolled a ton of sevens. Look at the chart here. It's like 7, 7, a couple of numbers, and 7 again yesterday. Does anybody have any money left? Let's see. Let's check the leaderboard. Who's here? We got people with money. Mike Dice, Nemo's got money. Mark the Point's got money. Math Music's got money. The rest of us are out. The rest of us got nothing here. We're all negative. I've lost 100, right? So the ones that are down here with minus 100 are empty. But some of you guys have got like money. Like JR22's got $8 left, right? Get yourselves in. Here we go. I'll give you guys a few minutes. I'm going to go to the table. I'm going to take this screen off. We'll go back to the table, and I will go ahead and stretch my knuckles a little bit. I don't have enough chips to wrap. Oh, yeah, I hit the wrong button. It says I can't bet because I'm poor. Here we go. Let's go back over here. I'm going to get my dice ready. I'm going to actually do, I really want the white dice to recover, but man, those things just get beat every day, don't they? Let's go with the shiny reds today. These are going to be the shiny reds. These are from, where are they from? These are Circa reds. These are Corey's favorite dice, the Circa reds. Here we go. Circa red dice for the YOLO. I'm going to count you down. And in 3, 2, 1, I'm going to turn the betting off. And here we go. Let's go. Halt the betting. 3 out of 6 of you are ready. 4 out of 6. Come on, let's go. Get the bets in. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Press your button when you're done, and I'm going. 4 of 7 are ready. Let's go. Jen wants a 6 or an 8. I don't care what this is one of those things where like I'm out of money and I just don't care if you guys win. I'm just pissed off. I want everybody to lose so I can come back in and play again. Here we go. Dice are out. Let's see what we get. What do we get here? We got a 7, a 5-2 big red with the big red dice, and wow, here we go. Oh my gracious. I'm telling you what, 5, 2, 7. That's gonna hurt some people. That's gonna hurt some people, I'm sure. I tell you every day, it doesn't matter if it's 24 hours away. It's when you're exposed, man. Oh my God, how terrible is that? Mike Dice wasn't here, so he stays good. Crabs and beer coming up. All right, well, wow, that's awful. There's the leaderboard, I think. Can I show it to you? Let's go. If I go here and press that button, there's the leaderboard. Okay, so yeah, some people are still in the positive, but damn. Look at the rolls. Look at the rolls. If I go back to the dice, it's so bad. 1, 2, 3, 4 7s in 6 rolls, right? You know that's got to turn around at some point. You'd hope it would, right? But and if you take the week before into consideration, my YOLOs on myself, I had 3 7s in a row, 3 days in a row with 7s. So not been a good series for us. Not been good to us at all, actually. So let's wow, let's get out of here. Let's get out of there. And let's go back to this. You want to see my face. You want to see me. Good morning, everybody. Let's turn that big bad light back there. Oh, it was off anyway. All right, now I'll turn it off. Good morning. All right, I know what I'm doing. I swear to God. Good morning, y'all. Welcome to Coffee and Craps. Let's get our regular show going. It's 8 o'clock in the morning here on a Wednesday, hump day, as it were. I'm going to go and do a couple of things for you before we start the actual show. I want to do a quick unboxing of something. So let me go back and go to the table zoom in view, and I'll put the light on again. I want you to see this is kind of cool. Here we go. This is, I've already unboxed it, so I know what's in here, and I want you to see this. And I think it's an important thing for us to call out because I want you to know how much y'all mean to me. And I think this is an important thing for me to say. Victor, today, of course, we got into a little bit during the paycheck show. Victor can be a pain in my left ass, right? But still love him, right? Waylon, you can be a hothead sometimes. Love you. JB, Myopia Movie, you can be an ass sometimes. Still love you, right? Every one of you out there we have problems sometimes, right? Ultimately, everybody wants good to happen, right? Ultimately, we're all part of the. So here's what Victor did. Victor has been talking to you all about hats all this time, right? He sent me a whole box of hats. I want to show you these. So he sent me a whole box of these things. And the main thing are these. These are the small. It's kind of hard to see. These are like, it's really hard to see them. These are like mesh. You can see my hand through there. These are mesh, like newsboy style hats. Okay, like the low profile kind of thing, right? They will accept a Velcro. They will accept embroidery very easily. I got like 10 of them in here. He also sent me a couple of cool, big ass, like skull encrusted, like hardcore cowboy hats, right? Along with a bunch of decorations and that kind of thing. And his idea was, hey, take these hats, use them as you will. Maybe they would make good prizes or something like that. And I got to thinking about, like, that's a good idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the hats. I'm going to find a way to get either a CGTV logo or the PC logo embroidered on the hats. Let me go back over here again. Let's go here. I want to get the logos embroidered on those hats, and I'm going to bring them with me to DiceCon. And I think at DiceCon, what we can do is we have, and by the way, Dice Dr. Dan, great guy, has given me like 4 or 5 game ideas. Things we can do during DiceCon, not DiceCon, Craps for the Cure. Things like, you know, dice throwing challenges, betting challenges, things that you could win a prize with, right? There, boom, there's the hats. So I'm going to bring those with me to Craps for the Cure. And I think we're going to use those hats as prizes, giveaways, that kind of thing during the telethon. Maybe even we'll all sign one of the cowboy hats with like a silver magic marker or something and auction that thing off with all the attendees. We can sign, all of us can sign it and give that thing away. So I think, you know, like I said, as much of a pain as some people can be sometimes, you got to remember, and again, you all are a pain in my ass sometimes, right? But heart's in the right place most of the time, right? And I think that's really cool that he did that for us. And I wanted to call him out and say, hey, those came last week, and I actually forgot to thank him. So much happened over the weekend here at home. They came, they're in the house. I never even opened the box up. I didn't open the box up until Monday when Jen got here. So those are pretty cool. And I want to thank Victor for that. And I think y'all owe him a thank you too. I think it's really cool that he stretched out and did that for us. And I think it's going to be one of these things where like the Craps for the Cure ends up being this really awesome thing that brings us all together, differences aside. So that's, I think, a cool thing. So thanks, Victor, for doing that. And again, you said it you can be a pain in my ass sometimes, but ultimately it's a community, right? And as long as we're kind of trekking in the right direction, there's going to be days where you don't like your spouse either, right? And that's kind of how this works. So there's all that. I want to make sure I called that out before we started the actual show. So let's get into the actual show now. And let's see, we're going to go talk about the paycheck. No, not that one. I want to go here. The Prove It days. Look at us proving stuff. Red Cross proved itself to be a loser the first day. We got killed the first day. And I mean, I said this morning during the other rollout, every strategy is going to have a hole. There's no strategy without a hole. It's impossible to make one. It's a matter of, is the hole, and the holes are always exposed, right? The question is, did the dice hit the hole that day or not? The Red Cross, the days that we ran it when it went 11-0, the dice matched it perfectly, and the aggressive line play really covered up the box, right? We weren't winning much a couple of those days on the box numbers, right? The Iron Cross part of it was getting destroyed, but because I was laddering my don't and I was parlay pressing my don't, some of those don't wins were like $500, $600, $700 covering the whole box, right? And it gave itself time to go. This week, when I ran it on Monday, none of that happened. It was like everything was I was target shooting what I didn't need, and it was just killing us. So that was a bad one. The Inside Mind Yard Study won 2 times in like 6 seconds. Like that thing wins quick. It fights back pretty good. We lost 850 on the last shooter, but we ran out of time. So we didn't have a chance to let it fight back. So that's a loss, but it's a air quote loss. We didn't give it a chance to fight. Today we did the odds maker and I won $700 starting at the pass line. I switched sides and won another $500 starting from the don't pass line. Same strategy, just different like lanes of the track, right? How you start it. And it won both ways. That's a good one. It's a good strategy. It's boring, but it's done well. It did well in its week. It did well today. I think that one makes the cut for sure. Tomorrow we're going to do the permanent press, and I'm picking that one because that one went 4-1. The one loss was a big one. It lost $3K. It lost a lot of money. That one, like the Mind, ton of potential. Tons of potential if you're not throwing a ton of sevens. The recovery on that one is actually pretty clear. It's a 3-hit recovery. So even if you're laddered up, if you're progressing those wins and you get whacked and you get whacked again, 3 wins is all you need to get back to it. We never got the wins that one day. It was a terrible rolling day. So hopefully that one can prove itself again. It's a high volatility, but it's a pretty good win rate. So we'll see how it works out. That's basically it. So there's the recap here. Dark side of small samples don't show a big picture. What they do show though, when you watch these, hopefully when you're watching the paycheck shows, I can't give you enough trials, right? I can only give you 5 days and then 1 day here. I'll run these off for a month, which is a longer bit of a trial, but still isn't enough to really know. What I'm hoping to give you though is a sense of rhythm. And I said this yesterday, and I mean this with all sincerity. Every strategy sucks. Every single one of them is a loser in the long run. You cannot protect everything. I was joking with JB after the show, and we were kind of going back and forth about, everybody's got this, he's reading chat. Everybody's got the perfect answer for everything, right? And you don't. Nobody has the perfect answer, because there's the hole, and you're going to find the hole. And let me show you something real quick. And I was joking about this, but not joking. This is like a joke, but not a joke, right? Let's solve craps, right? Let's solve it, right? You can go out there with, a $600 10, right? And a $100 don't pass. And then you can go all the way across, and you got everything covered. One hit and down, right? Let's not even have a don't pass. Let's go one hit and down, right? Let's go with $75, 3 units on every number, right? Yesterday, you guys were all on me for going too big of bets, right? And here we are. We're at 3, 6, 7, 725, whatever the hell this is. It's a lot of money out there, right? This is 480 minus 75, so it's 405. With the lay, can't lose. Matter of fact, that's probably not even enough. This probably needs to be $800 on the lay 10, right? Can't lose. Matter of fact, I'll do $100 hard 10. Now I've solved craps. Only 2 things can beat me, right? 1 hit, can't miss, right? I got everything covered. I'm looking to win 100 freaking bucks. Give me $100 so I can go 96 across risk-free. I got the hard 10 covered. That's $700. I got, whatever. And guess what's going to happen? 2 times out of 36 times, you're going to hit the 10. You're going to hit a 6-4. You're going to hit a 4-6. I guarantee you will. 100% guarantee within 36 to 40 times you try this, you're going to hit the 10. And you're going to lose $1,000 on that 10. Guaranteed it's going to happen. I watched Greg from 555 Craps do this strategy and roll 10 10s in a row one day. It was unbelievable, right? This will lose. I guarantee you will lose that whole spread. And when that happens, remember this, you're going to lose all that money one time. All the times that you win it, you're winning this. You're winning $105, okay? To go 96 across with $9 in profit. Hooray for you. You beat the craps, right? You made $4. And how many of those rolls never see a second box number? I showed you yesterday, about 50% of the rolls never see that second box number. You beat the odds getting 1. You're almost never going to get the second one. You're going to have 34 times where you beat this lay 10. 34 times you're going to beat it. You're going to lose $2,000 on the way to doing that. You better make that $96 that you're going across there, win $2K one of those 36 times, just to get even. Okay, craps ain't solved. Matter of fact, like I said before, craps kind of sucks. It's not solved. We can't beat it. So Darksider asked me if I ever tried the storm with the twist, meaning the lay 10 or the lay 4. I've tried it every way. I've tried laying the back wall into it. You watch when I do Chris's show, when I did the Dice Degen March Madness thing, I laid the back wall. I laid the back wall on the way out to my thing. I know in the short term, that's probably an okay play. In the long term, that's a bad play. You're going to lose every single time. But in the short 30 rolls that we had, it makes sense. In the moment, it sure seems like laying the 4, laying the 10 to watch those, to get that don't pass bet out makes a lot of sense until you lose it, right? Until you put $400 up there and you get picked. And now you got to make back 400 just to get even and then try and make profit. There's no perfect way, right? I say this all the time, go commando. Go commando as often as you can. All the hedge protect this. It saves you once. It whacks you once. That whack takes so long to recover from. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. I've picked and again, I've thrown more dice live on camera than anybody else on the planet, I think, besides George, but with bets out there, right? How many times have I picked myself off and been out here swearing? It happens all the time. It happens all the time. I pick myself off all the time. There's no answer to it, right? The lay can be anywhere. You can lay whatever you want to. You can lay the back wall. I don't care what you lay. I've done skills thing, right? Let's lay the 9 for one roll. I picked that thing off like 3 times, right? I don't trust a lay to protect. I just don't, because it's just too much money. It's the one roll comfort zone. You get picked on there, man, it's a month. It takes you a month to get back from it. Just too damn much. Yeah, there's a million ways to do it. You can ladder everything down. Jen, like I said, go commando. Pick a better way to play and just let it run. Having shit everywhere. I was telling Squares today, the difference between skill and luck and me, honestly, he's a thinker and he's trying for perfection all the time. I'm trying to make things easy. Like having all like the hard this and the hop in that and this lay to protect that. And he has everything perfect. And it's $163 across and good. It all works out. The money is perfect. And he puts a ton of time into that. Me, just give me 110 inside and give me one of these. Like ultimately, all of that works until it doesn't. I want it to be easy. I'm a make things easy guy. And that's, I think, going commando to me is most of the time the easiest way to do it. So with all that said, we're going to come back. It came back and made money. Not that day. That first day it got whacked. The first day I did it, we lost a bunch of money. Then every day after it came back and made money. And then I'm not putting it down, right? I'm not putting the strategy down at all. It's my style. I said this yesterday. I'm going to stay on the screen for a minute. I said this yesterday to everybody. Every strategy has a hole. And I said here, we all got holes. They all have holes. You're going to find the holes. You're going to lose. If there was a way not to lose, there wouldn't be craps. There's always a way to lose, and the casino always will take it. You got to decide for yourself. How do you want to win? How do you want to lose? And I think stylistically, that's what this is all about. All my shows are, and today's another good example, right? It's all about that. How do you want to win? How do you want to lose? Today I won, right? Twice, and it was boring. If you're at the table playing that strategy, you got your finger up your nose, you're picking your ass, you're looking for the cocktail lady, and you're collecting your $500 and you're going home, and it's boring as hell, right? There's a little bit of risk and it's kind of exciting for a second, but really it's pretty boring. Okay, and it's a paycheck. Ken will tell you all the time, play baccarat, follow the shoe. It's boring as hell, but I made my money and I went home, right? If that's okay with you, good. If you're like Victor and you want to play more low volatility plays, a little bit of pass line with odds, a little bit of 6 and 8, and just kind of do that, cool. You're going to lose, right? But you're going to lose feeling like you had the best edge possible, right? If you want to blast 640 across, right, and go, I'm just going to put 640 out there. We're going to press, and go home. And some days I'm going to make 1,000, and some days I'm going to lose 640. And you're like, I want the rush of that. Cool. You're going to make $1,000 5 days in a row. And the 6th day, you're going to lose 640. And at the end of the day, at the end of the week, you're going to be up a couple $100 just like me. We're all the same. We're all losers in the end. You got to decide how you want to do it. And that's what all this is about. What is the method by which you are okay with losing your money? And if you win, how do you want the wins to come? Do you want to have this exciting press? Do you want to be on the dark side and be like, fuck all you guys when the 7 comes and give me back my $1,000? You got to make that decision. And that's what my show's about, right? I want you all to make your own call. I would like to be non-complicated. Me, I like to do simple, divide by 10 math, make my bets really easy to follow, and not have to deal with a bunch of thinking. I just want to play and talk to the people around me. Does that make sense, everybody? I hope that makes sense. So there it is. That's my first rant of the day. I have more rants coming, but here we go. Let's get into the stuff. Coming out roll. I don't know why that's up like that. New Whalen strategy coming in half an hour. I'm going to roll out the Alabama Slammer at about 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock my time. We'll roll it out. Okay. It's a new. Whalen's worked on this thing for a long time. By the way, you guys should know this. Whalen and I talk quite a bit. 8 months ago, he's like, we got to find a way to make a strategy where you're hopping everything and making money. I'm like, you can't make money with hopping everything. It doesn't work out. Well, he's got a new Wayland style ladder figured out with hops, a bunch of other stuff called the Alabama Slammer. I'm going to roll it out at about 10 o'clock. It's a doozy. I need Crapsy to make it happen. There's no way I can deal this thing out. It's too much going on. I need Crapsy. You might need Bubble Craps to make the bets work. But let me go check it out. We'll look at that at about 10 o'clock or so. The next thing is, remind you, Friday Night Fights, Old Bay versus Nobo. Don't know who's dealing it. Jeff's back in town, I think. I think Chris is back in town, so somebody's going to deal it. I'm not sure who it is, but we'll get there. We'll get there for sure. Other news, I want to remind you of a couple of things. No shows next week. No actual live normal shows next week. I'll be at DiceCon in Vegas, so I will do some daily trip reports. I'll come out in the mornings probably. I'll do like a coffee and craps type of thing where maybe it's a 5-10 minute show. We'll do a little bit of how yesterday went, what I played, what I won and lost, you know, whatever. I may talk to people during the day and just do a little selfie interview kind of thing. I don't want to do what Alfredo did because it was his idea. So I'll just find my own way to do something that's interesting while I'm there, but I'm going to be there for a whole week. I'm going to be there from Saturday through the following Friday. 3 days of DiceCon and then 3 days of family vacation. So look for those trips. And like I said, if you want something specific, let me know. If you want videos of me doing the stupid rides at the Stratosphere and screaming bloody murder, I can do that for you too. What else is happening? I remind you of the meetups, of course, right? Meetup Seattle, September. If you're interested in that, there's a channel in Discord all about it where Ian and I can answer questions for you about that. So there's that. And Craps for the Cure, November 11th to 13th. I'm going to be talking to David on Saturday at CQ to lock in everything. Times, dates, locations, which tables we have, all that's going to be hammered out. I'll do that Saturday, and I'll have a nice final note on you to lock that in with you. I think the last thing to talk about here is these two items here, which is the changes coming for the show. I mentioned it yesterday. Coffee and Craps is going to stay here at 8 o'clock. I'm going to move the paycheck to 9 o'clock, my time. So for you on the East Coast, you can have a lunchtime paycheck. Instead of it being a coffee run, it'll be a lunchtime run. So you can listen to me while you're in line at the food truck, I guess. We're going to switch over from just trying to win $500 to simulating a $10,000 to $100,000 bankroll build. It's going to take a year to get that done. So that's coming up. And of course, I'm working on US of Craps. So I know Nemo's got some Texas things going on. We got Chris, Texas Dicer. We got other folks in Texas that I know want to help me out with this. Maybe get some El Toro if I can get a hold of him. He's a Texan. So we have some ideas for this. So yeah, a lot of states to be done. So again, if you want to be part of that, there's United States of Craps channel in Discord also. Let's keep the conversations focused in there if we can. Okay, so let's get in here and go to the three-phase approach again. And I want to hit on a couple of topics today as we get through this. I got about a half an hour here to get through it with you. First of all, the four-phase approach is that fourth phase, which is in red, is if you're a line player. If you're a don't pass player, phase one is getting set up. You got to get yourself past the don't. This is where we talk about laying the four, laying the back wall, doing things to get yourself out. Again, I would rather play it commando. I think going commando is the way to do it. You're going to be safer over the long run doing that. But there are other plays you can make on the way out. We're not going to talk about it this week. I'm going to go, maybe when I get back, we'll talk about getting set up. But the focus of our week this week is just getting even and getting up. So when I say the three-phase play, it's get them on, get them over, get them in. Get them on, get even. Get out of the hand quick as you can, or in some meaningful way, if you can. Then we'll talk about getting to goals and making money. How do you play the hand once you're even? But let's get even first. I think that's the thing that we all as right-siders want to get to. So how do you get even? One thing we looked at was the squeeze play as an inside-out approach. You start with the inside bets, you spread to the outside, and then you come back down. Okay, that works. It's a good play. Casino Quest was pushing that thing pretty hard. The problem with it is this. It requires an inside hit. It's the same problem we're going to see with the strategy. I'm going to run a strategy today that has the same problem. When you require an inside hit, you're removing 6 combinations. You're taking the 4 and 10 out of it. And many times, the one box that you get, or one of the 2 that you get, is a 4 or a 10, and it comes first. And you watch that thing go by, like, well, shit, I wasn't on it. Then you get your 5, and then they throw a 7, right? So the squeeze play has this problem where it lost for us out of 9 shooters. it didn't make it 6 times, which is the expected number of times it wouldn't make it based on, probabilities. But it sucks to watch it happen because you don't get that third hit or you don't get the second hit because you're missing out on the 4 and 10 sometimes on those earlier rolls and you're kind of in a bad way. So inside out's cool, but it's not the only way. Yesterday we looked, or actually I'm going to come back to the screen here in a minute. Yesterday we looked at what's called top heavy regressions. We did the Dallas drawdown, which is a 4-unit draw, right? I started at 640 and came down to 160, right? You can do it at other levels too, but that was the thing. It was a 4-unit drawdown. And we also looked at the wedge, which was 320 across, draw down the 4 and 10, draw down the 5 and 9, and then come down to 160. Both of those have a high out, and then you work your way backwards down to your safe spot, right? They both work you into your target, 160 across. Another way to do that is a one hit and down. If you're one hit and down, you got to figure, what does it take to win my spread? So one hit and down could be 640 across, right? Which basically wins 140. It's not enough to go 160 after that hit, but it's close. So 640 across for one hit, take your 140, bring it all down, go out there 160 across. You're playing 160 for 20 bucks. Those are all quote unquote interesting ways to play. I took a lot of heat yesterday. You guys were on my ass yesterday after the show and in text. I got a bunch of text messages from Skill and Luck and from others and saying, you are a effing maniac. Why are you showing us 640 across? Why are you putting such big bets out there? Well, let me show you why. I'm gonna give you a little lesson in math here. Okay, we're gonna go back to the table, and I'm gonna give you a short. I know this is kind of a weird view here, but I can't make it blend any better. Let's remember this, please. Okay, when I show you strategies, please, for the love of all that's holy, don't focus on the money. Don't focus on the money. Focus on the units. And what is a unit? It's some arbitrary thing. Could be the table minimum is a unit. At a $10 table, a unit is 10 bucks. A unit could be your betting unit. If it's a $10 table, but you're betting quarters, a quarter is your unit. If you're playing the mind and you're going like this inside, a unit is $110. Okay. A unit is whatever you're betting, whatever your base bet is, that's a unit. If I'm out here at 640 across, people fixated yesterday on, oh my God, you're a fucking maniac. You got 640 out there. Why are you doing this? Let me show you something, okay? I don't mean to swear. This is also 640 across. I'm gonna put white chips, 4 white chips on every single bet. That is the Dallas drawdown. Doesn't matter if these are quarters like they were yesterday, or if these are nickels. These could be $5, if on a $5 table, these could be 4 red chips. And then it's 20, 40, 60, 80, 120 bucks across. Plus your 6 and 8 caps, so 128 across, okay? If you're at the green level, yeah, 640 across is a lot of money, okay? If you're at bubble craps, it's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, $24 across. It doesn't matter. Units are personal to you. Right? If I got a big bankroll, my units can be quarters, and 640 to me doesn't matter. If my bankroll is 300, my unit is $1 and I'm at a bubble machine and I'm playing this $24 across and I don't care. You got to stop caring, all of you, about the dollars that are on the table and look at the unit size. The Dallas drawdown is very simple when you think about it in terms of the units and how you play the strategy. So learn how to interpret strategy play from me, from Waylon, from everybody else in terms of the units, not dollars, right? Because here, if the 9 wins, right, 4 pays 5, and we come down a unit. Right now, it doesn't seem very scary, does it? Right now, I got 10 bucks, 10 units back, or 11 units back on my rack. And if 3 wins and 3 pays 4 on an 8, that comes to my rack, and I draw myself back down. And guess what? The strategy starts making a little bit more sense when you see it in this fashion, okay? Don't fixate on the dollars. Focus yourself on units. When you see Waylon playing something, okay, and again, here's another one for you, right? When you see this, and I hear people say it all the time, Waylon's insanity. Waylon is insane. Nobody has that kind of money, okay? It's very easy for us to show you things like, I don't know, lay the 10, lay the 4, play the don't, Grim Reaper strategy, right? And you go, oh my God, it's so much money. And he's laddering up by, oh my God. I don't have that kind of bankroll. Well, guess what? Black chips look cool on the table, right? It's no freaking different if you're at a $5 table and you're doing this, right? I mean, you can't lay for $10, but you get my point, right? At Bubble, you can do this, right? You can do a $5 don't and 2 $5 lays. All day long, you can do that on the Bubble, right? It doesn't matter, right? If you're a $10 player and you're watching Waylon play with black chips, guess what you do? You divide by 10. You make the $100 look like $10. Or if you're a quarter player, if you have $2,000 to buy in instead of the 7 that he asks you for, divide your blacks by 4 and do green chip levels. It's all the same. And it kind of bugs me that I have to have this conversation again, it seems like, and again and again, because this should be basic stuff, right? Divide the units you see us play with by 5 or 10 or whatever to match your bankroll, right? Your unit size is based on your bankroll. You assign your chip size to the units that we're saying. So the Dallas Drawdown is a 4 unit per number play to 3 to 2 to 1. That 1 at the end is your target. It could be 160 across. It could be 32 across at my local. Remember that. I say this all the time. You've got to be in tune with the basics here, right? And we're showing things. And again, I like to show it at green chip level because A, the green chips look good on my table. B, the math of dealing those things is very easy. There's not a lot of white chips flying around. It's a clean payout. So it's easy to demo with greens and blacks, and they look good versus a bunch of random bets out there. So again, focus on the units, not on the dollars. And I don't want to hear anybody else ever telling me again, I'm not showing you beginner level strategies or low bankroll strategies. Go back to 3rd grade. Remember your basic division. That's how you get from what I'm showing you or what Waylon shows you or what Ken shows you or what anybody else shows you back to your level. Just do some division and understand the units. Okay, I'll try and do better at talking about units as I do it. That's an important thing. All right, off the soapbox I go, and let's go and look at today. Today we're going to do these kind. And again, we're talking about the getting yourself set up, or you're getting out of the gate, right? You're just set a point. I want to be aggressive, but I want to get out of the hand quick. Okay, today we're going to look at up downs. Okay, one of the up downs that you know I love, the skill 66. It's an inside play. You press your wins, and then you come back down, and that's your new level. The skill 66 has the same problem that the squeeze play has, which is it needs an inside hit, needs 2 inside hits, in fact, to get itself going. Squeeze play at least gets you an outside number. The 66, requires an inside number. And we're calling it the skill 66, but this could be at any level. I'm going to show you a couple of ways, again, to use units to make the same call, make the same decisions. It's going to be very enlightening, I hope, for you to watch that. All right. And then we're going to do the next one we're going to do, look at the button here, is going to be tier pressure, which takes maybe 6 hits to get. And then we're going to show you the Philly special, which may take 6 hits to get. These are other ways of going what I call up and down. They're more aggressive, so your end result is going to be a little better shape. You'll have more profit at the end of that thing. So again, all of these are losers, right? Tier pressure, Philly special, cover the 4 and 10, and they're more aggressive early. So they have a better chance of getting a target hit than the 66. The 66, however, right, doesn't need a million rolls to get itself done. So let's go to the table and compare some of those things, all right? Darksider's asking me a question here. What about getting the 2 insights within 3 rolls? I can run the math on that for you. It's not terribly hard to figure out. Basically, when you're on the inside, you've got 50% of the ways to win. You've got you've got 10 ways on the 6 and 8. You've got 4 ways on the 5 and 9. So your 18 out of 36 combinations will get you, right? So if you put that, you're 2 to 1 basically, right? Or you're 4 ways to 6, 4 to 1. Sorry, lose my train of thought. 24 ways to win, 6 ways to lose, right? Reduce it, it's 4 to 1. You put them in the thing, you're 80% chance to win, but it's 80% times 80% times 80%, whatever that math is. So to get 2, so it's 0.8 times 0.8, you have a 54% chance of getting your second one times 0.8. If you're looking for 3 inside hits, you're at 51%. Okay, it's descending probability as you go. That's how you do the math on that. So it's your probability of winning versus losing multiplied by itself as many times you need. So that's where it gets hard. 80% of 80%, right? You're in the 60s, the 50s, the 30s. So let's go to the table. Let's go back over there. Let me go, I'm gonna go zoom in first, I think, and then if I roll some dice, we'll zoom out. But let me give you some options here. I'm gonna give you some of the options. Good coffee. By the way, my coffee today, I screwed it up. We have a Keurig, and usually I make a 10-ounce cup with my whatever. I made a 6-ounce cup, and it's extra strong. Okay, here's a 66. Now watch. Here's my units lecture a second time. Skill 66 is 3 inside units. Okay, why 3? Because of the payment, right? 66 inside. 1, 2, 3. Right? 3 units per bet. Capiche? We hit it. It's going to win you a little better than 4 units. $21. You have to drop $1 because you're going to go ahead and press all of them by 1 unit. Okay? 3 units becomes 4 units after a hit. After a second hit, you're going to win essentially 5 units coming back to your rack, and you're going to reduce down by 2 units. Now your level is down here. You're at a 2-unit level. That was your target. Your target is a 2-unit inside bet on this strategy. You have to know your targets, okay? Where did you end up? 25, 50, 65. There's your money that you went out with. 66 plus 1 from your rack, $67 with some profit. That's the skill 66. It takes 2 inside hits. Now, cool. We know that. We've seen it. I've done it 1,000 freaking times. Let's ramp it up. I want to, again, show you what units do for you. If you have more bankroll, you can change the unit size, but still do the math, right? 1, 2, 3 greens. 1, 2, 3 greens. 3 greens, 3 greens, and 3 reds. This is exactly like the skill 66. The only difference is that you're at green unit level. Okay, what happens here? 75 there, 90 here on the 6 and 8. Those bets all pay $105. It's just like getting 4 reds and a white. You're getting 4 greens and a red. You drop another red, and guess what? You do the same exact move. You press up by 1 unit each. Now they're all, again, at 4 units tall. Every one of them 4 units tall. 4 units is going to pay about 5 units, right? There's your 5 units plus a little bit of juice, and you come back down to a 2-unit play. The nice thing about the green unit is that you have room to move, right? At the $10 unit level, or the red unit level, your units are so small that you can't go anywhere, right? There's, by the way, there's our 330 inside we started with. There's 1, 2, 275. There's 300, 25, 30, plus the extra 5, and you're bringing back a quarter in profit. Okay, so this one here brings you back a quarter in profit. You're here. Now, again, when you're 44 inside, you're stuck. At 220 inside, you can do this. You can move out a little bit. You can grab the 4 and 10 now and have bigger 6 and 8, and you've got better coverage, right? At the bigger unit levels, the bigger size units, you have options. But that's the 66 at that level. And I got news for you. If you did the skill 66 move from 330 to 440 and out, guess what? Here's your initial bankroll, and you went home. I played with Dice Dr. Dan, and we did this. I threw 2 inside numbers. He was on the 330. He did this. He brought back 100, 200, 25, 245. He's like, you know what? I'm done. He made 250. He was like, we're out of here. That was boom, just like that, right? That's a great get in, get out, go home kind of a thing. I like that if you can get the 2 inside hits. What does that look like at an even higher unit level? right? If you want to go absolutely bonkers, he said, and do it at 660 inside, because why not, right? 150, 150, and these are going to be 180. Again, no different than 66 inside. It's just that it's hundreds now. So it's 600 inside, or 660 inside rather, right? 15, 18, 18, 15, just like the reds. Same trip, right? What do those all pay, right? 150 there pays 180. I'm going to pay it like this. We'll do 175, 180, right? We drop money, press them all up, come back out of it. It's like literally the exact same thing. There's no difference. There's no difference at all. Actually, it pays 210. I might $210, $210, and you're going to drop 10. And what happens? Right? We go up by $50, up by $50, up by 60, up by 60, and now the bets are at 4 units tall. If one of them pays 200, pays 275, 280, and the same thing can happen. Right? You're going to go up from 640. Now you're going to come out here at 440 inside. Okay? Done with single black chip. Single black chip and go 440. And just like that, you're out of here with your initial bankroll and your profit, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 500, 600. We'll call it 675. That's your initial, and there's your profit. And you're playing at 440 inside. You can make this whatever you want to. Again, it's relative. Units are relative. They're relative to your bankroll. So don't get spooked when I do giant money. Okay, that's the skill 66. It's the move. It's an up and down kind of a move. Now, that takes 2 hits to get you home. It takes 2 hits to get you to where you want to be. The other ways of playing, and again, we're going to try and target ourselves to get to 160 across, okay? Sometimes you're going to start there and end back up there again. So if I take, for example, starting at 160, or maybe starting at 130, whatever you want to do, right? And we do a Philly special or a tier pressure style play, you can end up, and it's an up and down, same sort of thing. Where's my dice? Let's grab the whites. Can the whites help me out today, for God's sake? Does a 7 come out? I'm telling you what, this table has become a 7 machine. There's a yo. There's an 8. All right, we got a point. Look, let's get a point. The Phillies, or the tier pressure way of doing it, is to full press. This is like the Ed Robinson special, right? You're gonna full press whatever gets hit, and you're gonna play it like that until something either repeats. 9 is gonna get paid $35. Full press. This is the tier pressure way. Full press until either you get 4 hits or something gets a repeater. So it's a 4 unit or it's a 4-time play, right? There's the 8. But watch what happens. It's kind of cool. There's a little bit of profit. We're going to come back out. It's going to be a 4. Very risky. Very, very risky way to do it, right? The skill 66, by the way, still waiting, right? There's a 4. We get hit in the 4. That's going to be $50. Full press. Puck is up. But this is taking a long time to get 4 hits, isn't it? 4 hits is hard to get. All right, this is it. Either we're going to get a 9, 8, or a 4, which is fantastic, or this is our last box hit, and you're out. There's a 6. So the 6 pays $35, and what you do is say, now I'm done. I want to play at 160. Bring it all back. Do you have 160 in your rack? There's 100, 25, 150, 160 in the rack. How badass is that, right? It took you a little bit to get there, but you got your money back and you're playing for free. That's a way to approach this, right? It's an up and down sort of thing. Capiche? So again, these up and down plays, it's a regression to get to be safe. And again, you're trying to find, how can I get myself safe? It's so hard to get safe. Let's turn the puck off. Let's get into the point. We'll do it the Philly special style. Same thing. We're going to look for a pattern to happen. Waiting for some pattern that may or may never come, right? There's a 5. And again, we're looking to get ourselves out of the hand quickly. There's a 5. 35 bucks on the 5. Now, really what I should do here is set this up. I'll set up a different way. I'm going to set this up with different amounts. I'm going to set up at 130 across, just so you can see it. 120, 15, 130 across. So the 5 there, 25 would have paid $28. And it goes to 50. So you're going to, again, Philly special it up. If it works, all you need is one of these numbers to, one of these methods here to kind of pop for us, and we get goodness. There's a 5 back as the point. 3 5s in a row. 4, awesome. It's going to pay $27. Right, we're going to try and flip the 4 if we can. We'll take that $2 back. That's actually the vig on that 40 bucks. 6, 6 and 8, pay 35 bucks. There's 35. We'll drop $1 from the rack and hammer them. They're going to go to $48 each. Okay, those big bets out there, they all pay for themselves. At some point, they pay for themselves, and then you're back at your base. There's an 8, so the 8 pays 48 pays 56, 55, 56 bucks. Those two can go back down to their base level. Okay, you're up and you're down, up and down, up and down, up and down. There's 50, 75, 85. There's 90 bucks out of your 130 that you started with. Okay, so one of those moves gets you close to home. If we catch a 5 or a 4 here, there's the 5. We're out. Right, 50 pays 70. The 5 goes back, and what you can do is take the whole thing and make it look like 160 across. And where are we? We got our hits. There's 100. There's 25. There's your 130. And like before, $50, $56 in profit, $57 in profit. And you're playing at your level. Up and down. Right, this is not quick up and down. It's a 4 roll up and down. The other one is a 6 roll up and down, right? But you're playing with a little bit of profit. You're playing free, and your money's back. The up and down style of play, whether it's a 66, whether it's one of these two options, the object of the game, the object of those strategies is the exact same. It's another quarter there. It's to be out there for a short period of time, 2 to 6 rolls, whatever that is, and then wipe your hands and play it risk-free with something locked up. That's the goal of these things, right? Does it happen all the time? No. I told you yesterday, half the time you're not going to get even 3 box sets. It's a miracle run. The difference with this going out at 130 to get to 160 is exactly that. If your goal is to play at 160 for free or risk-free, right? The options before yesterday were go to 640 and regress to 160. Go out there at 480, regress to 160. Go out there at 320, regress to 160, right? Or do 330 inside like we did today and press up and then come back down and go to 160. All of those other ways require a much bigger outlay to get to the 160 across as your target spread. And again, I'm using green as the unit size here. This one seemed like, okay, that's dumb. You got to get 4 hits. I get you. 4 hits is hard to get. 5 hits is hard to get. But our initial risk is 130. You see? Or it was 160 in the first one. You're risking 160 or 130 for a longer period of time, but it's less dollars at risk, less units at risk versus the 640, huge amount of risk for a very short period of time. And like I said to you before, craps is a game that will humble you. Sometimes the big risk for a short time is the way to go. Sometimes a shorter or lesser risk for a longer time is the way to go. There's no magic formula here, right? The 66, the inside press and go down, it's a great pattern. The problem is you roll a 4, a 10, a yo, a 2, and a 7. And you never get your inside hit on a 6 roll, right? That happens all the time. It's hard to get the insides to pay sometimes, right? The other ones give you the chance. Like we saw Squeeze Play gave you the 4 and 10, so at least you get some of those things back, which is kind of cool. But there it is. That's kind of like, I want you to, again, I'm not advocating for any one of these ways to play. And I don't want to come off like I'm trying to sell you on a system, because I'm certainly not. I want to educate you on play options. What are some of the ways that you can get yourself to be playing? And once you're at that 160, especially if you got some money locked up in profit there, once you're there, I don't care what you do. That's where you can power press or half press or whatever, go home. I don't care what you do, right? Those plays, once you're locked, who cares? We can have conversations all day long about how to hit a home run, right? At that point, you're home run swinging. Makes sense? But in the early stages, what is the way to get to where you can get into the batter's box? Like, this is like, to me, a baseball analogy. This is getting into the box. Like, I can skill 66 it, I can draw it down, I can tier pressure it, I can do all these things. Once I got my 160 or whatever my unit size is, now I'm in the box and I'm ready to hit a home run. I'm ready to jack it, right? That's the idea. So there you go. That is my spiel today. Hope that made sense. And I don't know what's in craps. I'm gonna go. Why are you guys talking about naked people over here? Oh, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened in chat. Let me. You guys crack me up. Let me go through and look at any PCs that I may have missed earlier. I'll do some Q&A here with you. I got a little bit of time here. I answered this question about the storm. The big hole is point winners, right? The big hole in the storm is the point winner. If you're playing the twist, and I've done it, picking those lays is a big no-no, right? Then an immediate point winner sucks. Whenever I'm on the, I find this is going to be a dumb thing to say, but I find that whenever I'm on the don't, my glasses got a big thumper on them. Whenever I'm on the don't and I'm playing place bets, it seems like if I do the storm kind of thing, or if I'm doing like the Butterberg where I got all the numbers placed plus the don't, I find all the time that I pick the don't point off. Like when I have all the numbers up there, that's when I seem to have these rolls where I'm picking my don't point off. If I'm playing the don't and just the don't, I almost never do it. It's very rare that I pick the point when I'm playing the straight don't. It seems like, I know it's bullshit, but it seems like it only tends to bite me when I got other stuff up there. Like it's, I don't know. It just, there's something weird about that. One shooter instead of one roll when? You mean like here for these things, or just kind of in general for the paycheck? You want to come back on that one? Let's see. Practice getting 2 hits within 3 rolls. Yeah, you can't. What do you think I'm doing, man? I'm throwing my dice every day. I'm working my ass off to get 2 hits, right? I say all the time, when you watch my practices at night, all I say all the time is, okay, thank God I got 2 hits, right? I'm like tracking my rolls, and I celebrate every time I get 3 hits after a number, because that's the thing. It's like all these strategies I know are 2 to 3 hits. If I'm playing right side, it's 2 to 3 hits, and I celebrate every time I get the 3rd hit. That's all I care about with my throwing is, can I get 3 hits? Can I just get the 3rd hit? That's like what it all comes down to. So, yeah, well, Skill, here's the thing. The one hit and regress, how do I say this right? They're all terrible. They're all terrible. One hit and regress remind you it's a lot more money, right? That one roll, again, 640 across to win 140 isn't even enough to get you at 160 across. You're at 640 to maybe play at 96 across where you're completely risk-free. You get beat one time on that. You get beat one time at that huge level. You got to turn $96 into $650 at least once before you can even claim profit. You put yourself in such a dark hole with these the big outlays. It's hard. The 66 at the 3 unit level, that's a risky one too, because you're gonna, how many times does the 66 not make it because you're on other things? At red chip level, it's $65. Who cares, right? If you're out there at 660 or at 330 and you don't make it, okay, now I got to make up 330, which means I got to pull the move off. If you're just going to pull the move off, you got to pull it off 6 times to recover. All of them are hard. If you get picked on any one of these big end regressions, the getting picked hurts so bad. You've got to make your after play really, really strong, and you got to have a great roll to recover and then profit. That's the downside to it. Doing it Philly special or doing it tier pressure style for the first 6 rolls, you're going to probably lose that 8 out of 10 times, right? But you're at such a lower risk level than going out at 640 that your recovery is not as painful. So there it is. Let's see, for the YOLO. Oh, I see what you're saying, for the YOLO. Yeah, well, the YOLO is literally walk into the casino and do one roll, right? I get you though, right? I think this is a good idea for a different challenge, is a 1 shooter challenge. X amount of dollars, we all buy in. I do 1 shooter and we see who makes the most money. That would be kind of fun. That's a whole different segment. I like the idea. I really do like the idea. All right, I think that's going to be probably it. No more questions. Today was kind of a ranty day. So my final thoughts are this. I'm sorry if I offended you, but and I get kind of amped up sometimes, right? Because I get pissy when I feel like I'm not being understood, and it's more about mad at myself for maybe not explaining it right. So remember the talk about the units. Units are the thing. It's not the dollars. If it's 66 or it's 330 or it's 660, the move is the same. It's 3 units to 4 units down to 2 units. Okay. Think in terms of units. If you watch Waylon playing with black chips and you go, that's really cool, but I don't have that kind of money, it doesn't matter. Divide it by 10 and do it with $10 units, or divide it by 4 and make it greens. Don't let the dollars that we show scare you, right? Do your basic math, reduce things down to a unit size that you can afford to play. And then you can look at it and say, well, I still don't like it. At $500, I don't want to put $66 out there because I could lose it 8 times and I'm out of money. That you might still be underfunded. For a 3 unit across 4 bet strategy, you might be underfunded still. So you got to do your math. Do your math and know what your funding is. Know what you can afford to play. Know what matches your bankroll and adjust your unit size appropriately. If you want to do some of these things, that's great. The bubble will let you do $5, $5, and $5. You can do it. You can do it there. You can do it on most roll to win tables. You can do it at the stadium craps tables. Those are all low minimum bets. Some of them have real dice, right? Put yourself in the right place. That's my thing. Put yourself in the right place with the right bankroll, and don't be spooked when we do big things. It's just most of the time it's because, for me, honestly, it's color contrast on my table. That's why I like the greens and the blacks, and it's ease of payment. Don't get sucked into John's not showing me low bankroll strategies. Every strategy here is a potential low bankroll strategy. Just got to be at the right table. All right, guys, that's it. It's 9 o'clock. I'm going to go take a little break. I will see you out in about an hour. We're going to run to the garage. I'm going to roll a Waylon strategy for the first time, and it's a doozy. It's going to take a lot of betting, and Waylon will be there hopefully in chat or whatever with me to kind of coach me through it if I screw it up. So we'll see you in like an hour. Thanks all for watching. As always, love and respect all you guys. God bless, and I'll see you in a little bit. Bye.